ASRock 775Dual-880Pro motherboard. The ASRock 775Dual-880Pro motherboard is certainly the most unusual component I got, besides other components. I would normally look away from this sort, but something about it gave me curiosity. It was being offered at price of 15 euros, including processor and CPU cooler. The processor listed was Intel Pentium 4 at 3 GHz, the infamous Prescott architecture with single core. What got my attention was the term hybrid. The motherboard is in the middle of generations of gaming technologies. It uses a long-lasting CPU socket 775. Intel released a lot of processors for it, from single core up to quad core. And then I noticed two different VGA slots, the AGP8X and PCIe Express slot. Back then, AGP was on its closure, while PCIe Express was the new way of using graphics cards. In addition, there are two different RAM pair slots. One is DDR1 and other is DDR2. While using two identical RAM sticks, it can even produce a dual channel. After a quick research about that motherboard, I decided to buy it despite some visual quirks. Motherboards from early 2000s suffered from a capacitor plague, which means capacitors will sure likely leak electrolytic fluid, making them unusable and dangerous to other microcomponents. I managed to count at least 3 of those capacitors, while others seems to be okay. Nonetheless, I bought a new capacitors and a new CPU to improve stability and performance. First, to replace capacitors at local mobile service, because I don't have equipment and ability to do myself. Next thing is to replace thermal paste on North Bridge chip, just to make sure there will be no issues with overheating. For testing motherboard, I will be using some components from old PC number 2 configuration. Benchmark results will be used later for comparing with Athlon XP CPU. And for PC case, it will be old PC number 1, because I need floppy disk drive to update BIOS. Replacing motherboards can make your workplace a bit messy. Time for testing. Switching power supply on. Contact with power on and... Okay, CPU cooler spins decently and... Yes, pause signal, but with no picture. Oh, never mind. For the first and last time, I will use a floppy disk just to update the BIOS. After that, only the DVD drive will be needed for running benchmarks.
Testing. Testing. Everything seems to be in order.
It's all going well with this motherboard, but there are some things that really bothers me. Socket 775 had an unusual long lifespan, lasting for 7 years with variety of processors, but this motherboard only supports up until Pentium D Pressler core. That was Intel's first attempt to make dual-core processors to compete with AMD. Pentium D is not a dual-core processor, it's a dual CPU processor, which means there are two separate CPU cores on a single processor die. DDR1 memory is on its full speed of 400 MHz, but DDR2 it isn't. It supports up to 667 instead of 1066 MHz. Still, motherboard supporting dual channel is a welcome thing. The same thing is with the VGA slots. AGP in 8x mode, making them the full bandwidth, while the PCI Express slot works only in 4x mode instead of 16. Personally, I don't find this thing not even bad. The old PC number 3 will be the main machine for testing high-end PCI Express graphics cards, while this one may occasionally run only budget graphics cards. And that's it. This motherboard will surely come in handy. It's not for garbage, but not for making a new old PC configuration. For now, I have to make some benchmarks with another configuration to see what will be used mainly and what will be backup in case of faulty components. Thank you for watching. See you again soon.